Good morning, fifth graders. My name is Mrs. Brown. Can you say good morning, Mrs. Brown?
Good morning, Mrs. Brown.
It is lovely to see you today. We are practicing some new stuff, all of us teachers together. And so if you'd like, look at all the teachers in the back room and say good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, now, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
They're very shy, so we have to pretend they're not here. Okay, so just I'm the only teacher here, okay? All right. Please open your books, your reading books to page 195. What page, everybody?
195.
Check your partner. Is your partner on 195 also?
Yeah.
Excellent. If they're not, please help your partner. You need to also have a sheet of paper or your journal or something like that. What would you suggest?
They're composition notebooks.
Composition notebook to a clean, fresh sheet of paper, please, and a writing implement. I can think of 2 types of writing implements. What's one type of writing implement? What's a type of writing implement? What do you use to write with? It could be a pencil or it could be a pen. What kind of writing implement are you choosing today? Okay, so pens and pencils are examples of what? Writing. Say writing implements.
Writing implement.
There you go. All right, nice job. So, here we go. So you guys have read this story, right?
Yes.
The name of our story is put your finger under patterns. Okay? Then you put a finger under patterns. Voices together.
Patterns of change.
What's changing? Would it be the floor or rocks that the author's talking about are changing? And your choices are the floor or rocks. Everybody?
Rocks.
Rocks are staying the same or rocks are changing? Everybody?
Changing.
Excellent. Okay, and so why do you think the author wrote this story? What did she want? Okay, what did she want to tell us? So repeat after me. Why did the author write this story?
Why did the author write this story?
Talk to your partner. Why did the author write this story? Class.
Yes.
Raise your hand if you were talking with your partner and you mentioned the idea that, well, I didn't tell you yet. Raise your hand if you were talking with your partner and you and your partner said something about, well, she wants us to know how rocks change. Raise your hand if you used the word change when you were talking with your partner. Nice job. What else did the author want us to know? How rocks change? Any other ideas? Go ahead.
How they form.
How they form. And form is another word for
Change.
nice. What else did the author want us to know? That's what? They have a lot of patterns. If they have a lot of patterns, are the rocks changing or changing or staying the same?
Changing.
Anything else the author wanted us to know? Different types of rocks. Miss, is it Hutchinson? Miss H.
Miss H, exactly.
Miss H. You guys say that too? Miss H. Miss H, these are really smart. 6th graders? You guys are smart enough to be 6th graders, I think. Okay, in your journal, we're going to write up at the top, to the left-hand side by that red line. See the red line in your journal? Right next to your red line, on the top line, we're going to write 2 words. We're going to write author's purpose. What are we going to write?
Author's purpose.
Okay, spell after me. Capital A-U.
Capital A-U.
T-H.
T-H-O-R.
O-R. This author is a woman, okay? It's a lady, okay? But so then why are we saying author's purpose if there's only one author? Put that S there. If we just leave the S, does that mean one author or more than one author?
More than one.
But we've only got one author, so why are we saying author's purpose? What do we need to put in there to make it clear that we're only talking about one author and we're talking about our purpose? Anybody remember what that's called? We put in an apostrophe. Thank you. Where are we going to put it? Between the O and the R, between the R and the S?
The R and the S.
Thank you. So what are you writing in there? You're writing an
Apostrophe.
everyone say apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
Author's what? Author's lunch or author's purpose?
Author's purpose.
Thank you. We're going to make that a capital too. It's kind of a title. Spell after me. The word is purpose. What word?
Purpose.
Capital P-U-R.
Capital P-U-R.
P-O-S-E.
P-O-S-E.
And then we want people to know that we're going to tell them what the author's purpose is, so put a colon there. What's that piece of punctuation called?
Colon.
How do you make a colon? 1 dot or 2 dots?
2 dots.
Excellent. So the author's purpose, and you guys already told me, the author's purpose is to teach us what? That
Changing rocks.
everybody say it all at once. That what? Rocks do what? And all one rock or different types?
Different types.
Okay, all right. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go with change. The author's purpose is to teach us. Repeat.
To teach us.
So there you go. To teach us. To teach us what?
Change.
Just to teach us change? People would say, change what? To teach us. What's changing? You guys are the rocks. All right. To teach us how what? To teach us how. There we go. To teach us how. So fingers under the word to, or sorry, erasers under to. Voices together. To
teach us
finish
how.
it. To teach us how what?
Rocks change.
There we go. Write that. And if you're not sure about spelling, please check the board. Kind of pretty when you spell like that. All right. Fourth grader, no, sixth grade, oh, fifth graders. If I said to you, what was the author's purpose? You would say to me, her purpose was, repeat. Use my words. Her purpose was.
Her purpose was.
What was her purpose?
To teach us how rocks change.
Okay, so that's the big deal here. So I want you to just underline that word change. Because that's what was driving her to write this story. She wants us to know, hey, rocks don't stay the same, they what?
Change.
All right, so here we go. So now, we're going to do a close read because, you know, this author does a pretty good job of telling us that without making it too boring. So we're going to do a close read to find out how she makes that happen. So we're going to count the set. We're going to do just this first paragraph together. And we're going to really get interested in it, okay? So fingers under, so see how the title says rock solid? Okay, so now go below the title and see how that first word is solid? Fingers under solid. Yeah, fingers under solid. My turn. How do I do this? Oh, I know what we're going to do. I'm going to read out loud, and when I come to the end of a sentence, you say stop. Okay? So fingers under solid, my turn, you point. Solid as my turn. Solid as a rock is a saying often used to describe something that's reliable, that doesn't change. All right, there we go. So in your journal, write number 1. That's the first sentence. We're going to see how many sentences we got. That's where we're going. Fingers under the word but. Do you know what? Oh, you know what? Do you guys know where? Can you guys find where we are? Oh, nice job. You could do this on the dot cam, but I can see that you guys check your neighbors. Your neighbor's finger under the word B-U-T, but. All right, here we go. My turn, you point. But in fact, rocks do change. All right, what's that? Sentence number what?
2.
Put it down there. That's a new line. Number 2, down there. Yeah. New line, so there's number 1, so then number 2. You can skip a line if you want, you don't have to. Okay. What's your finger under now? What word? Everybody got their finger under the? Check your neighbor, make sure everybody's in the right place. My turn, you point. The effects of water, wind, and what?
Temperature.
Over long periods of time, slowly
Transform.
one type of rock into
Another
type of rock.
Stop.
Oh, what number we got?
3.
How many sentences in this paragraph so far?
3.
Excellent. All right, here we go. What's your finger under now? What word? These. Check your neighbor. Make sure your neighbor's finger is under these. My turn, you point. These same
Forces.
also shape inspiring
Escapes.
and sketch designs on
Rocks. Stop.
Yep. How many? What do we got? What number?
4.
Thank you. Put that down. What word is your finger under?
Nature.
Check your partner. Make sure they're in the right spot. My turn. You point. Nature's patterns are
Visible. visible.
In some rocks as small as,
Pebbles.
make a small pebble with your finger, like just as a small pebbles, and in wonders as vast as the two words?
Grand Canyon. Stop.
That's obvious, right? How many sentences are in that paragraph?
5.
There's a lot of words there, right? You can't have just one sentence. Gotta have multiple sentences, otherwise it's and then. That's not good writing. Okay, now what we're gonna do, so how many sentences have we got in there?
5.
We're gonna look at each of these sentences, and we're gonna see if we can investigate and discover how does the author teach us, what words does she use that say to us, hey, rocks change. What's she saying to us? Rocks
Change.
All right, so I'm gonna read a few words at a time, and when I come to a word that you think means rocks change, you say to me, rocks change. All right, you ready? All right, fingers under solid. My turn, you point, but you can say rocks change when it happens. Solid as a rock, nothing there, right? Is a saying often used to describe, anything there that says rocks change? No, okay. Something that's reliable. Reliable means stay the same. Is that saying change? No. That doesn't change.
Rocks.
But is it saying, well, it's got the word change, right? But is it saying that rocks change or something reliable doesn't change? Okay, so what are we going to do for number one? Is there anything that says, where's your paper? Bud? Get your paper out. Get number 1 through 5. You have it? Okay, where is it? Good, stay open. Okay, so you know what we're going to do for number one? We're going to go like this. Put an X. And say, no change words there. I can't hear you. No change words there.
No change words there.
All right, let's look at sentence number 2. What's your finger under? What word? But. Everybody's going to check your partner. Make sure your partner's there. My turn, you point. But in fact, rocks do change. What are we going to write? What words did she use? There we go. Do change. Let's go with do. We don't need to write rocks because we know we're talking about rocks. Let's say do change. So what words are we going to write?
Do change.
So write the word do, and then write the word change. All right. Sentence number 3 starts with what word? Here's a long one. I'm going to go kind of slow on this one because this sentence, how many lines is this sentence? Count the lines till you get to the period. That's a 3-line sentence, so let's go kind of slow. Fingers under the, my turn, you point. The effects of water, wind, and temperature over long periods of time slowly transform one type of rock into another type of rock. Is there any?
Rocks change.
Okay, so now when I get to the words that you think mean change, you tell me rocks change. So let's try that again. The effects of water, wind, and temperature. Is there any word in there that says change?
No.
Do you know what effect means? Effect means like, if I push this book, okay, watch me, eyes on me. If I push this book too far, the effect is it falls. In the word effect, does it imply change or no change?
No change.
Did the book change? I mean, did the position of the book, did it change?
Yes.
So was there change?
Yes.
If I say the effect is the book fell, was there change? So what word means change? Say effect.
Effect.
Let's write it down in number 3, right? Is that the third one? So if you can't remember how to spell effects, are we talking about one effect or more than one effect? So they're talking effects of what? Effects of temperature, what else? Weather, what else? What's it say right there? Temperature, look in the book. Look in the book. The effects of what? Temperature and what else? Did you say wind? Nice. Wind, what else?
Water.
Okay, so what are those things doing to the rock? Keeping it the same or changing it?
Changing it.
And what word tells us they're making a change?
Effects.
Thank you. If you can't remember how to spell effects, where could you look? There you go. See if I'm spelling it right. All right, let's try it again. Here we go. Fingers under the word the, same sentence. The effects of water, wind, and temperature over long periods of time. Over long periods of time. Does anything in there say change? No, because it could stay the same over long periods of time, right? Let's keep going. Over long periods of time, slowly transform. Oh, if you were thinking rocks change, raise your hand. What word is saying rocks change? Oh, you are so brilliant. Is that still sentence 3?
Yes.
Put a comma. And then what word are we going to write?
Transform.
Love it. I can't even tell you how smart you are. It's amazing. What's being transformed? Rocks or pizza?
Rocks.
Okay, here we go. All right. So slowly transform one type of rock into another type of rock.
Change.
Which words are telling us that rocks change?
Another.
Whisper, talk to your partner. Let me read it again. Time out. Don't go yet. Listen. One type of rock into another type of rock. Talk to your partner. Which words there say rocks change? Which words?
One type of rock change.
People are now everybody's saying into. Well, I can say they stay the same into blah blah blah. It's not into doesn't really say change. Which word says one rocks change into
Another.
Does another mean the same or different?
Different.
So which word is saying what that rocks change?
Another.
Let's get that down. Same sentence or new sentence?
Same.
What word are we writing?
Another.
All right, spell after me. A-N.
A-N.
And what word comes after that?
Other.
Other. So then you write the word other. Another. All right. What's the next sentence? Starts with what word? Here we go. My turn, you point. Remember that when we come to something that means rocks change, you're going to say rocks change. These same forces also shape awe-inspiring landscapes and sketch designs on rock. Are there any words in there that tell us, hey, wake up, rocks change? Any thoughts? Let me read them again, and then you read that again, and you tell me. You stop me when you think something's saying, these rocks aren't staying the same. These same forces, what forces are we talking about? Like wind, what else? Water and temperature. So these same forces also shape awe-inspiring landscapes. Which word is telling us rocks change? What are the forces doing? Oh, yes! Is that number 3 or number 4 sentence? Shape. What word are we going to write?
Shape.
Nice. These same forces also shape awe-inspiring landscapes and sketch designs on rock. Anything in that last part? And sketch designs on rock. What's your name? What do you think, Chantel? Which words are suggesting that rocks change? If the wind is sketching designs on the rock, go like this. Pretend you're sketching some designs. Are the rocks changing or staying the same?
Changing.
So Chantel, which words do we need? There you go. Sentence 4 or sentence 5, everybody? What words are we going to write? Just sketch or sketch designs, either one. I'm going to do sketch because it's the verb that really shows us. Sketch. Don't forget the T. Sketch. It's kind of it's a silent T in there. Hey, we're almost done with this paragraph. Fingers under the word natures. We're on our last sentence in this paragraph. My turn, you point. Nature's patterns are visible. I'm going to read the whole thing and then we'll go back. Nature's patterns are visible in some rocks as small as pebbles and in wonders as vast as the Grand Canyon. Okay, so think about which words, if any, there might not be any, say change. Nature's patterns are visible in some rocks as small as pebbles and in wonders as vast as the Grand Canyon. Do we hear anything in there about transform, or if that's what were you thinking, honey?
Rocks are small as pebbles.
Okay, so a rock is small as pebbles. Could it be that the rock's always been small? Well, we know it wasn't always that small, but just those words, if I said rocks as small as pebbles, Does anything in there say change?
Yeah. No.
What says change?
The rocks are small as pebbles.
Does that say they changed? Think, rocks as small as pebbles. Here's my rock. A rock as small as a pebble. That's all I'm saying. Does that say the rock changed?
No.
Then we can't have it. You're right. Are you thinking that they do change because they become small? You're right, but not in, but we can't say those words say. The whole text says it. Does that make sense? Anything else in there, in that sentence? What were you thinking, bud?
Patterns are visible.
Ooh, tell me more about that. Patterns are visible. Okay, so time out. How does the word patterns suggest that there's change? Talk to your partner. What does the word patterns tell you? Patterns means, ooh, class. Here's a pattern. Here's a pattern. Is it visible? Can you see this pattern? Is it visible? Can you see it? Is it changing? You can have a pattern that's visible, and there was change, but those words don't say change. Does that make sense, bud? Great thought, though, because you know what? It fooled me. I was thinking, oh yeah, patterns, gotta be a change, but you can have a pattern that doesn't change. Nice thinking. So in sentence number 5, do we see any words that say rocks change? No. What are we gonna do? Just draw an X there. Okay, so, 5th graders. The author wrote this story, this text, to tell us what? That rocks do what?
Change.
So rocks change. Does she say in this paragraph, rocks change, rocks change, rocks change? Does she use the words rocks change a million times?
No.
She uses other words to say rocks change. For example, she says rocks what?
Change.
Okay, and that's the word change, so we'll give her that. But what else does she say? That there are what? That rocks, and they change into another type of rock. Also that rocks are shaped, and what happens? And that designs are sketched on them. Why do you think this author, why do you think she uses all these different words? How come she doesn't say rocks change, rocks change, rocks change, rocks change a million times? Talk to your partner. My question is, why does she use all these different words? What are you guys thinking? Why do they change? Why does she use different words? Why though? Yeah, nice. All right, I want to hear back from you guys. Why does she use all these different words? Wouldn't it be easier to just say, rocks change, hey, rocks change, rocks change? Wouldn't that be easier? Why use these different words?
She doesn't want to use the same thing over and over again, or else it'll be more.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, what are you going to say? Same thing? Okay, go ahead. If a writer is using the same thing over and over again, hey, rocks change from the wind. Hey, rocks change from the temperature. Hey, rocks change from the water. Would that story be interesting or boring?
Boring.
Say boring.
Boring.
Okay, so but when she uses different words, does it make it more interesting or more boring?
More interesting.
And if stuff is more interesting, are you likely to learn it or not learn it?
Learn it.
There you go. So what are you telling yourself as a writer right now? When you're writing, what do you need to do? Can't use the same words over and over again. You got to use different words, right? Give me a thumbs up if you're thinking when you write next time you're going to use some different words, like this author did here.
It doesn't make sense.
Pardon me? But it has to make sense. You can't just say, rocks are pizza. That doesn't even. You say, oh, it's a different word, but it doesn't make sense. That would be dumb, right? All right. So here's what I want you to do. Turn to page. You know what this is called? Word choice. What's this called?
Word choice.
Who's making the choice of the words, the author or the reader?
The reader.
Who's choosing the words? Author or the reader?
Author.
So the author's choice of words makes a big impact on the reader. Would you want to read rocks change, or do you want to read these synonyms? Synonyms are better. All right, go to page 197. Now, normally I would have this on the overhead, the dot cam for you, but put your fingers under the word "buff" where it says rock cycle. Now count paragraphs. Say paragraph 1, paragraph 2. What's the first word in paragraph 2? Everybody there? Here's what I want you to do. With your partner, I want you to read those sentences out loud. I want you to count how many sentences, just like we did here in that paragraph we read, how many sentences did we find? 5. Altogether, how many did we have? 5. Are we going to have 5 for sure in this one? No. You got to count them, right? Figure out how many sentences you got, and then what do you think you're going to look for in each sentence? Words that say what? Change. In particular, what's changing? Okay, go for it. Work with your partner. But you each have to work in your own journal. If you get stuck, let me know. Yeah, read it out loud, guys.